Ever dreamt of packing up, leaving everything behind, and moving to a new city? Well, it seems some US cities are inspiring more of these escape fantasies than others. Whether it's the desire for less crime, better pizza, fewer traffic jams, or even just fewer potholes, there's a reason or 10 that folks are saying sayonara to these urban jungles. Today, we're giving you a front row seat to this urban exodus Olympics. Stay tuned, urban explorers, because things are about to get real interesting as we uncover the cities that are shedding their populations faster than a snake loses its skin. Grab your popcorn because this countdown might just inspire your next move or make you hug your city a little tighter tonight. But before we make this juicy revelation, here's your cue to tap that like button and subscribe. You wouldn't want to miss out on our future expeditions, would you? Ready to dive in? Alright, let the city escape countdown commence. Coming in at number 10 on our list, we have San Francisco, California. It's the fourth largest city in California, yet it's losing people at an alarming rate. There are currently around 887,711 people crammed into San Francisco's 46.9 square miles of land. Nearly 20,000 people have left the city in the previous 3 months, with the astronomical cost of housing being a major factor in their departure. Compared to other California cities, the cost of living here is 38% more, and compared to the rest of the country, it is a jaw-dropping 94% higher. In some areas, the cost of housing is as much as 238% higher than the national average, which can be a devastating financial blow. It's not surprising that many people in San Francisco are having trouble making ends meet. Now, let's move on to number 10 on our list, Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, the state capital and largest city, has seen a significant drop in its population in recent years. There are currently around 3,919,973 people living in its roughly 469 square miles of space. The exodus of locals started last year and has picked up steam during the year 2022. Even Los Angeles, a city known for its natural beauty, world-famous food, and usually favorable climate, is having trouble keeping its residents. But why is everyone now leaving Los Angeles? One major factor is the high cost of living, which is 51% higher than the state average and 7% higher than the cost of living in comparable California towns. The work market is also difficult, with an unemployment rate that is far higher than the national average. Additionally, many locals are leaving for greener, safer pastures because the crime rate is roughly double the state and national rates. And now, number 8 on our list brings us to Washington, D.C. Although the nation's capital may appear to be the place of your dreams at first glance, it is actually experiencing a significant population loss. Approximately 707,109 people call the city's 61 square kilometers of land their home. Washington, D.C. has stratospheric living costs despite drawing young professionals from all over the world to its position as the nation's capital. In fact, it's one of the most expensive places to live in the world, ranking in the top 1%. And with an unemployment rate higher than the national average, the city's job market also leaves a lot to be desired. Many people's lives have become more difficult due to the high cost of living and the scarcity of available jobs. The city's crime rate is similar to that of both the state and the country, so residents shouldn't expect much better security there. The population of the nation's capital is rapidly declining as a result of all of these issues. Number 7 on our list takes us to Detroit, Michigan. Located in Wayne County, Detroit is yet another big urban center dealing with a sizable population loss. Detroit, also known as the Motor City, is home to about 635,596 people over its 138.7 square miles. Detroit has been steadily declining despite having many redeeming features, such as its historic automobile sector, strong music scene, and prosperous business climate. The the city's unemployment rate is 7.2%, which is much higher than the rates in both the state and the country. Living expenses are 14% more than in other cities in the state and 3% higher than the national average, and residents already face a shortage of employment opportunities, and with a frightening 1 in 44 risk of becoming a victim of violent crime. Detroit's crime rate much outstrips those of other cities in the state and the national average. Many people in Detroit have left as a result of the city's deteriorating circumstances and the lack of job opportunities and rising costs. Now, let's shift our focus to number 6 on our list, Boston, Massachusetts. A large number of people have been leaving Boston, a renowned city in the center of Massachusetts. There are currently around 693,417 people living in the city's 48.34 square miles of land. Boston is one of the most costly cities in the United States, despite its rich American history, famous attractions, and wonderful cuisine. Living expenses in Boston are shockingly 48% more than the national average, creating serious financial hardship for locals. As a result, the population of the greater Boston area dropped by about 37,000 or nearly 1% between 2020 and 2021. High prices of living and a lack of affordable housing are a burden for locals. In addition, the fact that Boston has a higher crime rate than 81 other American cities is cause for alarm, resulting in many people in the Boston area are looking for less expensive and safer places to call home. And now, number 5 on our list brings us to Seattle, Washington. Seattle, located in King County on Washington's western coast, is also seeing a significant decline in population. Approximately 762,687 people make their home in Seattle's 142 square miles of land right now. Seattle is known for its high cost of living despite its flourishing economy, numerous industry, and plenty of cultural attractions. Seattle has a higher cost of living than the rest of Washington by 36% and the entire US by 54%. The locals are having trouble meeting even the most fundamental needs. 1 in 150 people in Seattle will become a victim of violent crime, and there's been an uptick in the number of house invasions. Seattle's dismal weather, with its many dark and wet days spread out throughout the year, has also contributed to the population's need for brighter alternatives. Number 4 on our list brings us to Chicago, Illinois. A large number of people are leaving Chicago, a city widely recognized as a symbol of American urbanism. The city has a total area of about 227.3 square miles and is home to roughly 2,756,546 people, making it the most populous in the state. Chicago has a higher unemployment rate than the rest of the county at 4.3%, despite its widespread recognition for its cultural legacy, diverse economy, and global relevance. Expenses in Chicago are significantly greater than in other Illinois cities by 33%, and the national average by 25%. The financial burden these economic issues place on its citizens is significant. To add insult to injury, Chicago's crime rate is alarming, since the city is currently safer than only 10% of US cities. There is a concerning 1 in 103 probability that a resident will become a victim of violent crime. Consequently, an increasing number of people are leaving in pursuit of better economic opportunities, reduced taxes, and increased safety. Number 3 on our list takes us to Portland, Oregon, where there has been a significant population decline over the past few years as people leave for reasons like cheaper housing and safer areas. In a recent report from the Economic Innovation Group, they have analyzed tax data and found that the loss of tax revenue due to migration had a significant monetary impact, particularly in Multnomah County, between 2020 and 2021, totaling $1.1 billion. Housing prices, retail sales, and the city's tax base are all vitally dependent on Portland's resident salaries. So this shift has profound economic implications. It also makes one wonder if the city will be able to afford to keep important programs going, such as the preschool for all tax and the homeless services tax, both of which were enacted in 2020 and rely heavily on the city's well-to-do citizens. Number 2 on our list brings us to Denver, Colorado, a place where people have been leaving in large numbers, and it's easy to see why. Denver is the state capital and the most populated city in Colorado, yet it is having trouble keeping its residents. Currently, its 153 square miles of land are home to its estimated 738,594 inhabitants. However, there has been a recent drop in this population. Denver, sometimes known as the Mile High City, is a popular tourist destination due to its proximity to both world-famous ski resorts and beautiful mountain scenery. Now, let's move on to number 1 on our list. New York City, New York. The population of this city, famous for its diversity and lively streets, has been steadily declining in recent years. New York City has an amazing population of 8,939,273 people who are spread out across its 300 square miles of territory. However, these figures are rapidly declining. New York City is one of the world's most exciting cities, but it also has one of the highest cost of living indexes. The rising rents are just one factor in an overall higher cost of living that is 26% more than the state average and 95% higher than the national average. The city's unemployment rate of 5.9% is significantly higher than the national average, adding more financial stress. There has been a 44% spike in crime since the beginning of 2022, adding to the worries of locals. This is higher than the state and national averages, giving people a 1 in 172 chance of becoming a victim of violent crime. It's understandable why people would reevaluate their links to the Empire State under the current administration. As we conclude, through these cities facing mass exodus, we hope you've gained valuable insights into the factors driving people away from some of America's most iconic urban centers. From soaring living costs to rising crime rates, these cities are grappling with unique challenges that are pushing residents to seek greener pastures. If you found this exploration as intriguing as we did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more of our videos here at Wealth Wizards. Now, here's a question for you. Have you ever considered moving to a different city? If so, what factors would influence your decision? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. But for now, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you in our next video.